Biggest stars like Rock Hudson, Doris Day, Jimmy Stewart, Clint Eastwood. Back then, an actor would be contracted to only one studio for long periods of time, years and years on end. So there's renting room for more like little apartments with kitchens and bedrooms inside, because they really did end up feeling like second homes to these actors. They would spend so much time here only working at one studio for such long periods of time. Compared to the trailers we use as dressing rooms now that we can take to any area of our lot on location, or to a completely different studio altogether. So now we use these as production offices for some of the top writers, directors, producers in town. In fact, coming up on your left, you'll see Office 5195 with a familiar profile next to it. That was the office of the incomparable Alfred Hitchcock. He directed films like Psycho, The Birds, or Window, Vertigo. If there's any fans of Hitchcock films, you know that Hitchcock always made a cameo appearance. This was his trademark move. Here's a few quick Hitchcock clips. Let's see if you guys can find them.
Good evening. My name is Alfred Hitchcock. We all go a little mad sometimes. And have seen the blood.
All right, that's about it for our front lawn. That consists of our sound stages, all of our offices, and from this point on, we are taking you to the back lot where we shoot the big stuff, exterior scenes done on a huge scale. The first area of our back lot will be traveling through our metro sets. These sets can be turned into any major metropolitan area anywhere around the world just by changing a few details here and there. You'll see a lot of stonework and brick. That's all just thin fiberglass that has been molded and painted to look that way. It's all fairly lightweight and easy to change from one production to the next. Now, more often than not, these sets are turned into New York City. And to tell us more about that, I'm going to throw things over to Mr. Jimmy Fallon. He knows a lot about New York. After all, it is where he shoots The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Oh, Jimmy.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. What's got mugged over there? An old woman. Tough lady. Who's my favorite hot dog guy? Hey, buddy. How's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey! I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool, guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Shooting in our metro sets includes episodes of NCIS, Criminal Minds, House, CSI, Parenthood. There was one day last year when Castle was filming out here. People always ask, so what happens on the tour if they're filming out here as the trams are driving around? The theme park's open every day of the year, right? Well, we would just skip this part of our lot completely. You don't want to see a tram truck in the background of one of their scenes. So on this particular day, we were going from the bungalows, all the offices, skipping the metro sets and going straight up the hill to King Kong, which is our next stop on the tour. Well, Nathan Fillion, star Castle, he was in between a couple of scenes, had a little extra time on his hands. He walked down to the corner, waved down our tram, asked if he could hop aboard. He rode through King Kong, and we just dropped him off the bottom of the hills, and he continued filming the rest of the day. Marvel's Agent Carter has been out here a lot. Key and Peele on Comedy Central, you'll see our metro sets in a lot of their sketches. If there's any fans of How I Met Your Mother, you might remember an episode where the gang is running around town trying to figure out where they ate the perfect burger. It wasn't in New York, it was right here on our New York Street. As we travel along on the right-hand side of Car 1, you'll see a bunch of stairways going up to little apartments. This is called Brownstone Street, named after the brownstone-style apartments. Here's a few examples of what's filmed there. And there's fans of the Mindy Project on board. You may recognize the brownstone apartments. That's where Mindy Kaling's character lives on the series. Also, it was used in the film that just came out last week, Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stopping with Andy Samberg. They shot some scenes on our brownstone streets as well as other parts of our metro sets. We've shot scenes for The Amazing Spider-Man, Captain America, The First Avenger, the first Transformer film. This was the street that the epic battle between Optimus Prime and Megatron took place. They hung a giant green screen on one end of New York Street. That way they could digitally add the Transformers, explosions, even the skyline of the rest of the city, all using CGI, computer-generated imagery. Now, if action movies aren't your thing, maybe you're a fan of musicals. We shot a lot of those here as well, including scenes from Bye Bye Birdie, The Music Man, Annie, 1992's Newsies. A sort of movie musical that shot out here was Blues Brothers.
when the Pinto fell and you saw it land and make this big hole in the street, that was on the back lot. We dropped it from a crane. You dig like that in Chicago, not a good idea.
When people ask me all of the movies I've ever done, what was the most satisfying and the most fun, I've got to say Blues Brothers. We got to sing, we got to dance, got to drive, and train with the best stunt people in the world, and then got to be an actor and a writer. So it was a good piece of work.
Danny called John America's Guest because just you walk into anybody's house.
During the shooting of the movie, John was missing. We couldn't find him.
Danny went off looking for him, saw a light on in this one house and knocked on the door.
I said, sir, we're doing a movie down here. We're looking for one of our actors. Oh, John, yeah, he's on my couch. He came in, he had a snack a couple hours ago. He's sleeping. He was America's Guest. I mean, literally that happened.
So in Blues Brothers, we turned New York straight into Chicago. In Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me was turned into London in the swinging 60s. And in the movie Castaway, starring Tom Hanks, you might remember that movie opens with a